Tricycles in the Philippines are more than just a mode of transportation. They are a cultural staple and an enduring symbol of Philippine ingenuity. Often colorfully decorated and a common sight in bustling cities of urban centers and the quiet paths of rural towns. Tricycles, being hailed as the vehicle of the masses, definitely deserves the title due to its compact size, customizability, convenience, and utility. But first, how did it get here? Where did it come from? And how did it end up being integrated as the iconic symbol of resourcefulness in the Philippines? In 1903, a company was established in Milwaukee, Wisconsin named Harley-Davidson, founded and led by William S. Harley and Arthur Davidson, along with Arthur's brother, Walter and William A. Davidson. The company began in a small shed where they built their first motorized bicycle. Over time, Harley-Davidson became known for its heavyweight motorcycles, particularly of those of V-twin engines. The V-twin engine paved the way for them into developing motorcycles, which became the hallmark of the brand. And Harley-Davidson, Model J, the grandfather of Philippine tricycles. But there was a problem. The competition was fierce. Indian Motorcycle was a dominant powerhouse in the motorcycle production business. They did manage to find a success in the long run, just not as successful as you might imagine, until a businessman from Japan, named Baron Kishichiro Okuda, who thought to himself, hey, Japan could use some of these, which led to Harley-Davidson's exposure to the Japanese market. Seeing the success of their brand in Japan, the company decided to make an official presence, making a formalization of their imports spearheaded by Alfred Richchild on 1924. And from there, the company became a dominant player in the Japanese automobile industry. And when I say dominant, I really meant dominant, being able to sell over 2,000 bikes a year, that's around 1,500 to 2,000 yen each, which adjusted for inflation today would be worth around $20 million.
If you look at that, that's tariffs charged to the USA.
The Japanese government saw that there's too much foreign competitors on their land and sought to aid local companies by establishing tariffs. This may not sound bad for the Davidson Company, but this is the 1930s, and America is just having its Great Depression. Let's look at the problem from the company's perspective. You have a fierce competitor on the mainland, you have a serious financial trouble due to the Great Depression, and one of your money generators is in peril due to the tariffs. That and the yen's value being cut in half. It's not looking good for the Davidson Company. Sankyo Trading Company, seeing the tariffs badly affecting the Harley-Davidson and seeing potential in their product, said, hey, I see you don't like tariffs, but you still want to keep your dominance? Simple. All you have to do is give me the license to make it here and all the tools we need for the production of your vehicles. I'll handle the manufacturing. Davidson Company, under extreme financial pressure and in a vulnerable condition, reluctantly said yes. They received an undisclosed amount of money, reportedly around $75,000.
All right, we're going to make a lot of money together.
Just remember who you're working for.
Now, Sankyo, with a license to manufacture Davidson engines, has evolved, changing their name as Rico Nainenki. They later decided to reverse engineer the Harley-Davidson engine, resulting in the creation of Rico 97, unknowingly to the Davidsons that the Rico was under surveillance by the Imperial Japan. Around early World War II, Japan has been increasingly aggressive with their neighbors, going as far as conquering Korea, setting up aggressive tariffs, and installing a puppet state in Manchuria. But they have a problem. Their logistics and supply chain is terrible. Their soldiers are not moving fast enough to annex areas for them to pillage. To counteract this, they looked into the automotive industries in Japan, leading to the creation of Kurogane Type 95, Toyota GB truck, and the aforementioned Rikuo 97. Well, thanks to the license agreement Ruko made earlier, Japan, with the help of the Davidson engineering, created a reliable vehicle capable of aiding the empire in their dominance all over Asia. You may ask, why didn't the Davidson just pull out of the license agreement they made? Well, even if they do so, Japan can just not listen since they are no longer in need of them thanks to the blueprints and tools they have provided, effectively cutting off the Davidson's control and profits in Japan. But thanks to what comes next in Hawaii, they found a commercial success in the wartime economy with the help of the US Army. Back to Japan. Rikuo Nanenki, with the help of the Imperial Japan, bolstered their production of the Ruko 97. Due to its reliable nature being able to reach up to 97 kilometers an hour, a compact style, combat modifiability, and perfect for a wartime economy, being such cheaper to produce than other vehicles. Over 18,000 was produced during the entire war. The Ruko 97 was so dominant in wartime logistics that it was seen all over parts in the conquered territories of Japan, primarily in China, Korea, and Philippines. In their overconfidence of defeating lesser developed countries, they decided to attack Pearl Harbor to kickstart their assault on the Philippines. Japan later decided to fully invade Philippines, pushing out General MacArthur into retreating to Bataan. But before he retreats to Australia, he gave inspiring words for those who he left behind. His famous words being, "I forgot my wallet. I'll be right back."
I landed on your soil. I said to the people of the Philippines whence I came, I shall return. Tonight, I repeat those words. I shall return.
During the occupation of the Philippines, the empire introduced four automotive industries originating from their motherland, those being Toyota, now known as Toyota, Komatsu, Isuzu, and Datsun, better known as Nissan nowadays. These automotive companies are there to aid with the maintenance and production of military vehicles.
I have received this afternoon a message from the Japanese government which specifies the unconditional surrender of Japan. In the reply, there is no qualification.
Since the imperial retreat of Japan, plenty of war vehicles were being left behind by the retreating forces of the empire, leaving the Filipino with worn-out vehicles, many of which are beyond repair. Most of these were Willy Jeeps, Kurogane Type 95s, along with lots of tricycles, most of which was the Type 97. This is where the Filipinos showcased their resourcefulness and adaptability. After the war, Filipinos made sure to make full use of this abandoned foreign technology by repurposing parts and attaching it to another, figuring out part by part with limited access to its manuals, blueprints, or foreign assistants who are knowledgeable about automobiles. Local craftsmen and mechanics heavily relied on resourcefulness and ingenuity, figuring out which parts work and which doesn't, trials and errors, disassembling and reassembling, until they managed to reverse engineer an entire vehicle into 100% working order. This experiment resulted in a more locally influenced design, giving homage to the tricycles we know of today. These augmentations, mostly created, were heavily influenced by the practical needs of the community. Some designs provide much greater space, increasing passenger capacity. Some increase the carrying capacity, while some are just for purely aesthetic and luxurious purpose. These advancements in understanding and repurposing abandoned vehicles ultimately established the tricycle as a profound symbol of Filipino ingenuity and creativity.